Okay, the time is now 1 o'clock. We'll begin our December 19th Commissioner meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first item on the agenda, Shipman or County Attorney.
Other than the items that are on the agenda later, the sheriff's contract, which I think we've gotten worked through, and the title 4 ordinance. I don't have anything else to report unless you guys have any questions for me.
Any questions for Matt? George? George, can you hear us?
George, can you hear me? She was muted.
Yeah, I can just barely hear you.
Oh, any questions for Matt?
Do you have any questions for Matt, George?
Okay, we'll move on. Katy Fry, Highway Department.
Hello, Katy Fry, Director of the Highway Department. I have provided a summary of all of our annual bids that we received. I do have a side note. We did have one bid that we did receive on time. It was from, I apologize, I had that written down, but I don't know what I did with it. It was from Bailey's. They did submit a bid on time. It was accidentally included with the bids that went for the Sheriff's Department. So we did open and included those because they were submitted as they should have been, but they were just not in the meeting at the time because they got mixed in with some other ones. So those were okay. But I do not recall if we accept or reject and or everything in one motion or whether or not it's per item.
I think we've asked them for one motion.
yeah.
Matt, is that sufficient?
Yeah, that's what we've done before.
Okay, so as far as items 1 and 2, which would be for the gasoline and diesel fuel, it is our recommendation that we move forward with just the daily bid price that we would call and receive pricing rather than to accept the permanent yearly bid price, just because the market's fluctuating and we have an escalation clause anyways. So we really probably would just end up paying the price that we would get the daily bid for. And then the only other exception, recommendation is to accept all bids with the exception of item number 11. And item number 11 is for concrete bridge packages. And I spoke with our engineer and we had some conversations about future processes with this. And it was our recommendation that we move forward with just bidding each individual bridge project rather than to kind of do everything as one lump sum. Just to make sure that we're crossing all of our T's and dotting all of our I's. But everything else looks good.
Okay, makes sense to me. Commissioners, how would you like to move forward?
I'll make a motion that we accept the 2023 bids for the Highway Department.
Is that motion with the exception of item 11?
Yes, I'm sorry, with the exception of 11.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Or I'm sorry, voice vote. George is not present. We'll start with Commissioner Schrumpf,
Aye.
Commissioner Basinger,
Aye.
and I am an aye as well.
And then I did just have a quick update for you. We are watching the weather for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every weather model is different. We don't have anything set in stone yet. So we're prepared for that. So we'll see what happens. We did receive our 2 new tandems. Those are updated and in the fleet currently working. The work on the front of our building is almost finished. That should be completed this week. Community crossings, we've worked together to kind of go through the county and decide which roadways that we're going to apply for community crossings funding for. We have 10 miles, a little over, it's 10.1, and that opens up the first week in January. So we will be submitting those, and I will send you, I just finalized it today actually, so I'll send you guys that information if you want to look over it or have any questions. And then the engineer and I are working together to refine our right-of-way permitting process. So there's some details that we still need to iron out with that, but we're just trying to make sure that we're being thorough, being responsible to the taxpayers when it comes to some of the I would say the repairs that maybe need done from some of the utility companies that come in working in the right of way. So we're just working on that. And then we did release something today via social media and email. And then I believe EMA is going to be releasing a press release as well that just notifies the general public that we are going to be starting the systematic burning of all of the brush from the derecho at Northern Heights Elementary School starting, I believe it's Tuesday at 8 a.m. So we just want to make sure that people are aware there's probably going to be a lot of smoke. There's no cause for concern. We're following all protocol. It's being completed by professionals in the fire, I don't want to say fire industry, but the fire department. So people don't need to call emergency services, and it's all planned. So just wanted to bring that forward at the meeting here.
Great.
And that is all I have, unless you have anything for me.
Anything else for Katie? Okay, thank you.
Right, thank you.
Next item on the agenda is the sheriff contract resolution. Is there anyone here to speak to the sheriff contract? George, do you have any remarks or comments for the sheriff contract?
Not really. It's basically pretty much the same contract that we had before. We do have a few changes, but pretty much the same contract.
Okay,
Tiffany, what's the resolution number?
It'll be 2022-16.
I will make a motion that we approve resolution number 2022-16.
okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Commissioner Schrumpf,
Aye.
Commissioner Basinger,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well.
Two of them, that goes with the actual contract, and this is a resolution saying that you are approving it.
Signing the contract, one signing the resolution.
Okay, next item on the agenda is Scott Wagner, Health Board appointment.
Good afternoon. Back for last meeting, you tabled the nomination from the Health Board for Margaret Malcolm, so I'm here for that.
Okay. I assume that the information that we have was in our last agenda. That's why we wouldn't have it here. Is that right? Could be.
Yeah, it's the same. There was nothing other than.
Yeah.
So I'm very respectful of the fact that there are visitors here. There are people who probably have something to say on that. I'll start with Dr. Burkett. If you had anything you wanted to add on this appointment. Yeah, if you could just step up to a microphone and talk a little bit.
I'd just like to add that Margaret is incredibly well qualified, member of the community. has served on the health board already for one term, has been very supportive of all of the measures, coming through the whole COVID pandemic thing, and has been very responsive, has not missed any meetings. We've not had any conflicts of any sort on the board. Everybody discusses things, and we've never even had a negative vote of any sort. So I certainly would like to, put my support behind her. I think she's a wonderful candidate.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak today? Just want to give an opportunity.
I'll make a motion to approve Margaret Malcolm for the appointment for the Board of Health.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second? Hearing none, the motion will die for a lack of a second. Leaves us, wait, other than,
It's at your discretion if you wish for me to come back at the January meeting to discuss this, if you're going to table it, or if you want me to come back after the health board meets again and see if they have appointed another individual. We are asked to have a maximum of 7 members. Should be a 7-member board, and 4 of no more than one party. And it gives us discretion on what candidates can fill those positions. 2 positions, medical doctors is how they say it. 2 positions that can be filled by somebody in the healthcare field, a dentist, a pharmacist, such and such, healthcare administration, things like that. And then 2 members at large. And then the last division is one person from any of those 3 previous categories. So would qualify for that since she had been in healthcare administration. If you were tabling that today or voting no, then I would have to have the health board vote again in their next meeting in January, and bring back that other candidate for you to review.
okay. I'll just say this, I've never met Margaret Malcolm, wouldn't know her if she was sitting here today. Certainly not anything personal. I think we're just reflecting on the COVID pandemic and I think the voice of our constituents has been heard by the commissioners, and there's just some concerns about how that could have been handled and how it was handled, and I think that's why we're here today.
So we can't make a negative motion, so I think what we're saying is yes, we need a new appointment.
Okay, I'll bring it to the health board.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is Nathan Bilger with Plan Commission appointment.
Good afternoon. This is the commissioner's appointment to the Columbia City Plan Commission, one of the 2 that you have. Currently, Doug Graft is the member whose term is lapsing. He has served with the Columbia City Plan Commission for 20-some years, is in regular attendance. He is a pretty active member, typically has things to say, has served as the commission president for a number of years, stepped down a few years ago. So he is okay with being reappointed. We also do have another nominee, Nikki Venable, who does live in the extraterritorial jurisdiction, a little ways off 109, just north of town, expressed interest and supplied a letter of interest, which I believe you received a while ago. She meets the criteria as well. She does serve on the regional sewer district. We did get confirmation that that would not pose a problem. You can serve on those 2 boards together. So she would be option number 2, unless you have someone else that you would want to consider in addition to those 2. So I present those as options. The City Plan Commission meets next on January 9th. It's delayed by a week due to the New Year holiday, just in case you needed to wait till the first January meeting to make that appointment. You still could if you so desired.
Okay. Doug, has he expressed interest in continuing?
Doug Graff did, yes. Yeah, and would be interested in the position.
Gotcha. Commissioners,
I know originally we had talked about appointing Nikki Venable to the County Plan Commission. However, she does live out in the county. However, she lives in the 2-mile jurisdiction of the planning of the city, so she cannot serve on the County Plan Commission. So I think it would be appropriate to appoint her to the City Plan Commission. And also, it looks like Mr. Graft has served for 22 years. So I think it would be appropriate to appoint Nikki Venable. George, do you have any thoughts?
No, I'd be fine with that. Doug has done a great job for us through the years, but I'm sure Nikki will do a great job also.
I will make a motion to appoint Nikki Venable to the City Plan Commission.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Commissioner Schrumpf,
Aye.
Commissioner Basinger,
Aye.
and I'm aye as well. Is there an appointment letter that we need to sign?
Yeah, I'll get that to you to sign off on.
Okay.
I just didn't know which name to put on there yet. So I'll get
Gotcha.
that to you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the Title 40 ordinance approval.
This is the letter. Judge Rensselaer is not able to be here today to
Yeah.
speak on behalf of that. I know Matt's reviewed it. It's just something to be able to pull some extra funds into the county to be able to use for the public defenders. Pretty much all I know about it.
Sure. Pat, in your review of this, did anything stand out?
No, it's, we have to establish the fund. That's what we're doing here. The funds are there. It's just a matter of being able to go and get them. And, it seems completely appropriate that to the extent we can use the funds to support paying for our public defenders with funds that are already available that we're not getting, we should absolutely do so.
Tiffany, what's the ordinance on that?
2022-22.
I will make a motion to approve ordinance 2022-22.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. I'll call for the vote. Commissioner Schrumpf,
Aye.
Commissioner Basinger,
Aye.
I am aye as well.
I can bring you a new form.
Okay, next item on the agenda is payroll and accounts payable claims approval.
I had a chance to go up and check payroll and accounts payable. Everything looked to be in order and correct. I will make a motion to approve payroll.
Okay, I have a motion to approve payroll. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. I'll call for the vote. Commissioner Schrumpf,
Aye.
Commissioner Basinger,
Aye.
and I'm aye as well.
I will make a motion to approve accounts payable.
I have a motion to approve accounts payable. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. I'll call for the vote. Commissioner Schrum,
Aye.
Commissioner Basinger,
Aye.
and I'm not. Next item on the agenda is previous meeting minutes approval. Has everyone had a chance to review our meeting minutes from December 5th?
I'd make a motion that we approve.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. I'll call for the vote. Commissioner Schrum,
Aye.
Commissioner Basinger,
Aye.
Commissioner Banks, aye.
Did I send you bid opening again for regular?
No.
Okay. Those are the bid openings, just the normal one.
So we also have a set of minutes for our meeting that we had earlier in the day for bid openings. So I would entertain a motion to approve those as well.
I will make a motion to approve the special meeting minutes.
And I've got a motion to approve our December 5th special meeting for bid openings. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. I'll call for the vote. Commissioner Schrum,
Aye.
Commissioner Basinger,
Aye.
and Commissioner Banks is an aye as well.
Good till I used an old template.
We'll stay after and sign those.
I'll bring it back down.
Okay, is there anything that anyone from the public would like to add to today's meeting? Matt, anything additional?
Nope.
Tiffany? Commissioner Basinger?
I just want to thank George. As you all know, this is his very last meeting as commissioner, and I just want to thank you for being so kind to me and willing to help teach me things when we first came into office. You didn't owe us anything, owe me anything. And it's been great to learn from you. And these last 2 years have absolutely flown by. I can't believe that your term's up, but I wish you well. And you and Lola definitely deserve all the things in Florida. So,
Thank you.
Yep, thanks a bunch, George. Thank you. Is there anything else? Yeah, we can.
I'd just like to say that I've thoroughly enjoyed the last 12 years and you know, change is inevitable and we leave it into hands that are well qualified. So I'm going to miss everybody, but thank you for everything.
thank you, George.
With nothing else, meeting adjourned.